Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CFL Weekly Show. It is Shane alongside Cole, Blake, and Coach Phil are supposed to be joining us. I think they're just kind of running a little bit behind, coming home from work and whatnot. So yeah, Cole, how you doing? We are last week of preseason, right around the corner from the regular season. How you feeling?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Those boys better join us, so they sure want to be included in the draft here tonight, or else I don't know what they're gonna get. The old, like, when you do a fantasy draft with your boys and someone like auto picks and they end up auto
Yeah,
picking like just a horrible draft. I don't know if there is that setting in CFL drafts where we maybe just set them up with like an auto pick. But if they want in on this year's 13th man weekly show fantasy football, they better show up here in the next I would say, what do we give them, Chain, a little 20-30 minutes or something like that. And yeah, I'm looking
yeah.
forward to it, buddy.
We're supposed the draft is supposed to be at 8:35. It's kind of going to be the back half of our show. Um, So as long as they're here, we're gonna do it. If not, well, we'll have to talk about it next week before game one of week one.
Yeah, they get a stroke penalty for sure if they don't show up tonight. They get a they're picking like second round. We
Oh
get
yeah, 100%.
They get like one of us two get like 1 and 3, and the other gets like 2 and 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't know.
they
I rather be four than because it's a snake draft. So
Yeah, well, either way, Shane, we can figure it out. They
yeah,
definitely get a punishment though
$100%,
if they don't show up tonight, and we get something in our favor for the fantasy this year, and that'll be on them.
100%. And we will also be doing our CFL pick'em. I believe Blake won it last year. It came down to like the last game of the regular season, and Cole, much like the BC Lions, choked away the lead that he had and end up falling short of the regular season crown. So, well, I know you're going to be for redemption there.
Big time, yeah. It's the one thing to lose the yearly battle. It's another to lose it to Blake. I think all three of us are in agreement on that one. I love you, Blake. It's nothing personal, but Blake, I think Blake pushes us all in this little yearly competition that we have.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. A lot of content coming out with the season right around the corner. Talk a little bit about the preseason games. What were your takes? Obviously, there was 3 games on Saturday, so you weren't able to watch all of them live. I don't know about you guys, but on the Sunday, I had the day off. I watched 2 out of the 3 because I was able to watch the 7 o'clock game the entirety, and then I was able to watch the 2 o'clock game for most of it. So I kind of just rewatched what I missed, but I did watch that middle game, the BC Edmonton game out in Kelowna or Langford, my bad.
Yeah, just I gotta watch the way I word this, Shane, 'cause I say it's unfortunate, but it was my girlfriend's birthday, so it's not unfortunate that I was busy on Saturday. But actually, I wasn't able to catch any of the action live. Anyway, Shane, I was able to watch the Ottawa Montreal game on Friday, which was super nice to kind of sit back, come home after work, and it was basically on the TV. And that one it was preseason football. I think it was a little bit harder to digest the most of the second half, but I think for the most part, Ottawa looked pretty crisp in the game. Obviously, got a shout out to BC boy and Keelan White doubling up in this year's first game, or I guess I should say the Ottawa Redblacks' first game, and looking for him to hopefully have a big season. I know will continue to hopefully kind of find targets and get better as he goes through his career. And Shane, who's the Laval quarterback?
Desjardins yeah,
Desjardins, yeah.
Desjardins.
Was obviously another one that for guys like Shane and I, kind of draftees or draft nuts, was cool for me. Kind of was the only thing that I kind of was hanging around for late in that game. Obviously, like I said, preseason football tends to get a little bit hard in the second half, especially when it's not your team and you kind of have you're starting to be unsure of some of these camp battles that are going on, so it starts to lose some of your interest. So for me, I was kind of just waiting around, and I thought he had fairly good showing. I know it's fourth quarter, a lot of 3s and 4s in there, but I thought he did a pretty good job in limited action. Hopefully he's able to extend his time and continue to show what he's got. I know that regime is fairly familiar with him, with obviously Anthony Calvillo, kind of the ties to the Quebec area. So hopefully Desjardins able to stick around and maybe even find a way onto Montreal's practice roster or something like that this season. I think it would be super cool. But Saturday, Shane, like I said, I wasn't able to really catch much. Shout out to CFL Classics, and I believe it's is it Waters 27 on YouTube for reposting the full games. I was able to go catch the Lions Elks game, and wasn't able to catch the other two. But Shane, what were your thoughts on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean the weather in Hamilton was god awful, so that game super hard to really pay attention to. Kind of feel like Trey Ford got a majority of the reps. He's gonna get a majority of the reps this week as well, because Bo Levi's not playing. But I think given the weather and given the circumstances, I think both teams kind of fared decently well. It's so hard to evaluate when it's that type of downpour. You can clearly tell the ball's slipping in certain situations. The ball just isn't moving the way you wanted to. The field isn't reacting the way you're used to. So for me personally, like that game was hard to judge. That's why I went back and watched part of it. The Edmonton BC game, Cody Fajardo to Austin Mack, or Powell to Mack, looked really good too. That team looks like it should be good. An early season test between them and Ottawa to start the year. But if they can put results, they looked really strong. Obviously there was no Rourke, very few starters for BC, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of hard to judge what you have there. And then the Saskatchewan Winnipeg game, it was what it was. Like, I think, seeing the starters obviously looked good. Al Gersma did not look the sharpest. No. He definitely, I think, struggled more than I think people were anticipating. But, first couple of snaps in a live game since he graduated high school, graduated Laurier, you can practice as much as you want, but when it comes to live reps, it's hard. So yeah, we'll see what he does this week.
To me, Shane, I think he was a little bit amped up. It seemed like for that game, and obviously rightfully so, right? His first kind of taste of CFL action. I know he got a little bit of preseason action last year with the Packers, but that one I specifically wanted to go back and kind of watch some of the quick little highlight recaps, and then just wanted to see some of the throws from Al Gersma. And I know there was like a few runs where he was basically like going head first in the linebackers and stuff like that, and kind of putting his body, I feel like, in harm's way a little bit, and probably leading into like being so amped up that he wants to do so well. He wants to get all these yards, right? And it's like, let the game come to you. I think, like you said, Shane, next week we'll see if he's able to kind of learn from some of those mistakes and grow from them.
Yeah, and now we got Blake joining us, walking through his house. He's giving us a house tour.
MTV.
That's not fair. I didn't know you were gonna bring me on stage. You're like,
well, you were in the back. I figured you were ready to go.
I was, and then the dog had to go pee. So
let's see the backyard there, Blake.
Let's see the mountains.
No, there's nothing. It's a townhouse complex, so you'll see a bush, but
that's all a dog needs, right? Is a bush.
Exactly. How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where's Coach?
I'm trying to figure it out.
He's about to get docked. You were about to get docked a first round pick there, Blake.
I was talking to him earlier this week, and he earlier today, and
I feel like Coach, he's not off the hook, I would say, but he gets a slight not as bad penalty because I guess he is like on vacation, if we want to say that, right? Like, he's not home. He is actually like
he's if you haven't checked deep in the game on socials yet, he's doing a lot right now in Regina, Saskatchewan, against Saskatchewan as a whole. He's been doing stuff with like the Valkyrie and like the other, I can't remember the other name for the women's team out in Saskatchewan.
Regina Riot.
That's it. He's been posting stuff there. So he's been a busy individual.
Yeah.
So if he's not able to make it because he's burnt out, might give him a slap on the wrist, but we'll might let it pass. Because I messaged him earlier. He said he was good to go. He was.
I think what we do because we said both you guys had till 5:30, Blake. So what I think we do is if coach isn't here, we get to pick his first round pick or something like that.
He hasn't even joined the league yet, so I'm waiting for him to join the league for us to.
I did.
Are you weekly champions?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was.
He's trying to manifest things. That's what he's trying to do.
Well, no, because I was the weekly champion from last year. So
you weren't the weekly champion. You weren't winning every week.
But
so, how have we already brought it up twice in 10 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Last year, Blake.
Hey, it's a whole new season.
Yeah, we're 0-0 now, buddy.
June 4th.
Apparently, for the Canadians, it's not a whole new game, but that's neither here nor there.
Yikes! Is it 1-0, 2-0?
No, but the shots are 5-0 already for Carolina.
Yeah.
Carolina's going to.
Oh wait, maybe 6-0. No.
Yeah. So again, starts in Hamilton in week 1. Montreal, Hamilton, Winnipeg, and Calgary on the Friday, and then Edmonton, Ottawa on the Saturday. I hate the fact there's only 3 games.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, Shane. Yeah. I was like, I know we talked about it when the schedule first came out, but the first 2 weeks, week 1 and week 2, only have 3 games, and I was like, that sucks.
Yeah, the Riders aren't playing either, I believe.
No,
right?
No. Yeah, the Lions, the Riders,
that is,
and I believe what are the games again, Shane?
Toronto's not playing.
Yeah. That's right.
So I get.
And then I was looking at the schedule today because of the World Cup. The Lions get a week 1 bye and a week 6 bye, and then 1 bye the rest of the season.
Yep. I mean, Toronto's the same way. They have like week 1.
I think it's week 1, week 5 for Toronto.
No. Oh no, they have. It's week 9.
Yeah, so theirs is better, but
yeah, I mean, Ottawa's also isn't the greatest. Ottawa has week 2, and then I think it's like week 7 or something.
Yeah,
week 8. Like, so we need a 10th team because then you get rid of one of those extra bye weeks. And
well, speaking of the 10th team, did you guys see the news about Halifax that
fell apart?
Supposedly the stadium was approved.
No, it fell apart. Wait, which stadium?
Was that Wanderers? Halifax or Quebec City?
Which one? The Wanderers one, or like the American investor one?
American investor, I believe it was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it fell apart. They couldn't provide the required or the requested information, so the city moved off from it.
See, the thing about this is like it's like obviously the most needed thing in the CFL, but like it is such like we just chase like these random reports and it never ends up happening. It's such a shame.
Yeah.
Like Brian said today, like until there's shovels in the ground, like
he said that the other day too.
Yeah, like let me know basically. Like it's unfortunate because
I think Quebec City though. You guys hear what the Laval president said about Quebec City?
I did,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's been conflicting reports. There was like there was something that came out today saying that like Quebec City wouldn't support a CFL team, which I think is false. I think Quebec City's like, desiring a pro sports team.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a weird, like, I know Tim and Cliffy went to Quebec City because that's where the Owls had training camp this year. Like they went like 3 times, and it is like a 2.5, 3-hour drive from Montreal. But like at the same time, is that too close? And yes, I know, Shane, you're gonna say you have like Ottawa, Hamilton, and Toronto all in the same province, but
and you also have Ottawa and Montreal that are like 2.5 hours away from each other at most.
True enough.
Like. But
it needs to happen. It's unfortunate that like
that's why the field's changing, because we're 100%. Gonna get an American team. The Baltimore Stallions are coming back.
No, it's gonna be the St. Louis Battlehawks.
They can't even support their UFL team.
Well, yeah, because the team. I mean, no, St. Louis has been one of the better like spring
attendance
franchises overall. Right. But I don't know. I know there's people talking about how like the UFL is going to merge with the CFL, and there's going to be like
It's been talk for a while.
5 teams merge with them. I'm like that. That's not happening.
No, it's not.
I mean, if it is, I'll gladly be wrong, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Coach is joining us. We started
Yeah.
off a little late because we had some technical difficulties, and
I think he gets a stroke penalty here.
Yeah, might have to change the draft till tomorrow, boys. If Coach isn't,
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's
well,
what I
we
mean.
could-
He gets a stroke penalty.
Yeah,
He does get a little bit of okay, I understand you are in Regina. You're busy.
No, that's not an excuse. He probably just fell asleep at the beach.
That's what I was gonna say, Blake.
Oh,
It's all
100%
good,
he fell
but
asleep.
it's not an
100%.
excuse.
Dude got home, finished editing, and took a fat nap.
He's gonna come in like an hour.
He's gonna message me, be like, "Yo, my bad, I fell asleep. I got back to the hotel room and I laid down in bed and passed out and forgot to set my alarm." That's what it's going to be.
Or he's watching right now.
I know it's a completely different podcast, but it's Darren Bombing you guys have on tonight, right, Cole?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, if you
Yes,
guys want
and-
more CFL content, you can go follow Cole over to Lions Den
Yes, sir. The BC
later
Lions Den.
tonight.
Lions podcast.
and get some
believe it's
Lions
called.
content.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. We'll preview this weekend's matchup with the Bombers. Obviously, I'm excited to ask about Algersma, of course, and how he thinks he maybe will be able to hopefully improve on his first showing in the CFL because I think it was like 5 of 13, 2 picks, 70-ish yards.
It was awful.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great, that's for sure. So,
And yet there was talk, sorry to cut you off, Cole, but there was talk before that game that Algersma had moved himself into the number 2 spot
Well,
at training camp.
He
I think
still is in the number
yeah,
2.
he still has Blake.
It's why
they
it's why
cut.
Wilson left.
Yeah,
It's why
they moved-
it's why Wilson left.
But
and I don't know if you guys saw, but is like a relative commented on some Bomber stuff. Hey, and was like, it's a shame that this is like basically cherry picking Algersma for number 2 and all this stuff.
To be fair, though, it's not like Wilson
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
played himself in like there. You
do,
always
do
kind
we
of
have to remind Bombers fans of the 2024 Grey Cup? Like,
like
And they're also family too, right? Like they're gonna side with their nephew, son, brother. whoever
yeah,
it may
which
be.
is fair. I just
but
but
Bombers
he was
fans will
6
still tell you they would have won that Grey Cup if Kalaros didn't get hurt.
No, the defense was too good.
But
But yeah, he went 6 for 13, 78 yards, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, no time.
And then Bryce Perkins went 5 for 9 for 67 yards and 1 interception. And yet they only lost by 4 because Cohen has also looked, I will say, Jack Cohen has looked awful in the preseason for Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
didn't the Riders just sign another quarterback like last week? Or
Well, they brought in Braden Shager.
yeah,
Yeah.
who
I was
did
gonna say
really
that was
well.
like a couple days ago. But
He did
Everybody's
really
pretty
well. He
hyped
did
up. Yeah.
14 for 19, 179 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But Cohen was 10 for 18, 100 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
another CFL podcast that I listen to that's based out of Regina though is like the that's always the most debated topic in Saskatchewan is the backup quarterback.
When you're so reliant on your starter,
Yeah.
like, I can't remember the last time Saskatchewan had like a quality 1-2 punch.
Some people might argue Jake Mayer, but those people would be wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
What a showing for Jake Mayer on Friday, eh, Shane?
Yeah,
Fuck.
three drives, 2 touchdowns. I had
Quarterback one competition.
Yeah, I was gonna
open?
say what's
Dinwiddie?
the rumors about that?
Well, I asked that question.
Do you think it's a real competition?
Yes. I asked that question. So we were at the post practice stuff and talking about
What
it. So
day
I
was
just-
this? Like this week or last week?
Yeah, this week. It was
Yeah.
it was Tuesday.
So
And
yes,
I straight up asked him, I'm like, what's the quarterback situation like? Is it Brown's number 1? Like, is it his to lose? And then he was just like, I want someone to take it. I don't think either of the guys have taken it so far.
that's
Which
such
is
a
actually pretty fair assessment of how training camp has gone for both players. Like I've missed maybe 5 days since the start of rookie camp. And when I tell you that neither player
Okay.
has taken like a hold of that QB1 spot, they've both had their really, really bad moments, bad passes, bad interceptions, poor reads, like some really bad moments. They've had their good moments, and they've had some really great moments. They've had some beautiful throws that, you look at and you're like, how do you make that throw? Like sideline, over the shoulder, like some really beautiful throws. But neither of them have been consistently good or consistently great throughout practice, like throughout training camp.
Okay, Shane. So put your feelings aside on Jake Mayer for a second, and let's go. We'll go with Jake first, and then go to Drew. What in your mind would be like the pros and cons of Jake Mayer being your starting quarterback versus Drew Brown? Because obviously we all know how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pros for Jake is that he's used to the system. It's been mentioned multiple times throughout camp during post practice interviews. Is you know, it's a very similar system from Calgary to Saskatchewan that he was in, right? It's kind of that same coaching tree, so somewhat similar systems. So he was used to it. He was confident in it. He was comfortable with it. And you've seen it in practice, right? You've seen kind of the moments where Drew is still trying to find the rhythm in the offense. Obviously what he did against Montreal, against majority of their starting defense, is a huge advantage to him. And his ability, at least so far in in training camp, to like tuck it and run a little bit more and like move out of the pocket a little bit more seamlessly, has, I think, the advantage. I think the con is
He's Jake.
he's too streaky, right? Like if the first drive is a 3 and out and he has two wild passes, can he kind of straighten up and kind of recover the rest of the way, or is that going to derail him the entire game?
Yeah. How does he bounce back?
Yeah, but like in all seriousness, like I believe it was the 2023 West Semi, Cole, between Calgary and BC was like a great example of that. Like the very first drive, he throws two absolute dots for like 40 yards each. Calgary goes up 7-0. And then later in the first half, he throws a horrible interception, and it just like brought him down the rest of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
what does that say on Drew Brown then? Like,
so I think with Drew, he's more of a pocket quarterback, which really pisses me off because he actually has the ability to throw on the run decently.
do you think that's because of his injury history, Shane?
I worry that it is, yeah. I worry that like maybe it's in the back of his mind where you probably don't want it to be.
And whether he admits it or not.
Yeah, I mean, he's been asked and he hasn't. Yeah. He's kind of said that no, like it's behind him. He doesn't.
Which is, of course, the answer you'd say. But to me, that was the first thing that when you said, like, because he is an athletic guy, especially if you watched him in Winnipeg a little bit before he came to Ottawa, he used his athleticism a lot. And they get him out of the pocket on those half rolls that Winnipeg likes to do and stuff like that. And he'd use his legs. And like, you haven't really seen that in Ottawa, like, at all. And that's huge, man. That is a game changer for like 2nd down, 7, 8, coverage is blanketed. You have nobody there, and they're like all their backs are turned to the quarterback, and your quarterback runs for 7, 8 yards. Like as you were saying with Jake Mayer, and he's been able to do it. Like that's a backbreaker for defenses a lot of the time, right? Where like you have everybody covered, you're all in good spots, and the quarterback gets out the back door and ends up picking up a first down. So it's a game changer, man.
Exactly, and I think I think Dinwiddie is going to put who he feels will give them the best chance to win out on the field. And I think what's beneficial is that they have that week 2 bye. So let's say you go with Jake Mayer week 1 and he throws he bombs out. He bottoms out. He has like 150 or less yards, no touchdowns. Like he just absolutely bottoms out. You can go into the bye week either to refresh him and be like, hey, that was week 1. You're fine. Let's get ready for week 3 and game 2. Or you can go, okay, we're going to give Drew Brown game 2. We're going to prepare for Drew Brown to be the quarterback heading out of the bye week. and prepare for that week 3 matchup when you're playing Toronto, right? So like I think having that week 2 bye can be beneficial, but he mentioned it on Tuesday that, you know, both quarterbacks were going to see time in the first half. I don't know if it's going to be, you know, an even split, but from what I've seen at camp, like what I saw, you know, at least yesterday, I wasn't able to go today. What you saw yesterday, I wouldn't be shocked if Mayer starts the game with Drew coming in the second half.
So how has practice been in terms of is it like Tuesdays Drew Browns with the ones, or do they
It's been
all
so sporadic.
okay?
They're taking reps. Like Max Duggan was taking reps with the ones at one point. Bryson Barn was taking reps with the ones there. Dinwiddie has been very vocal when asked that like he wants everyone to play with everyone. You know, I think the mentality around this team is very much there's no true number ones, there's no true number twos. You're all starters. You can all start any given week. I'm going to put the best players, I'm going to put the best 12 on the field who give us the best chance to win.
Yeah.
When I talked to coach, the D-line coach, Philip Daniels, kind of asking him about how that front four was going to look, he kind of echoed that, where it's like, you know, he has there's probably going to be 10 to 12 guys, you know, working through that rotation during a game. He wants them all to prepare as being starters because you can start any given week. So it's been kind of hard to diet. Like, obviously, you know, who anyone who's working with like the core of Lewis, Pimpleton, Hardy, and Keelan White is going to be considered the team one. And then with Aiden Heberhart hurt, there's been Sam Schnee has kind of worked into that spot with in his place, but it's been kind of a rotation throughout camp.
So we all know how much the quarterback position means to just in team success. Where is your level of like confidence, concern? Because obviously, like, there's the saying like on one side of the coin, like it's good to have the depth, but like if you have two, you have none, right? Like if you don't have confidence of anyone, which I'm not saying that, but like what you're alluding to, right? Like it's a good thing to have it, but like if you're going into the season early on, and say like if you're a guy like Jake Mayer, and like the hook's already like that quick, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be like a good thing for you guys, but like could that just destroy, like you were already saying, like would that destroy Jake Mayer or one of them's confidence? Like if Drew Brown was to start week 1 and he doesn't do very good, and Dinwiddie's like, we'll go with Jake Mayer, and then Drew Brown's like kind of, well, like what the rug just got pulled out from under me right away. Where you like, we've had this argument a ton in the past, right? With like the Trey Fords, like how long's the leash? How long's the leash? How long is the leash? Right? We're like,
unfortunately with either of them, they're getting paid. They're both being paid as starters, right? They're like, I think they're in the 9th and 10th highest paid quarterbacks in the league,
which isn't necessarily a bad thing though, Shane. Like,
no, not at all.
Yeah.
But I do think that winning, like at the end of the day with Dinwiddie, we've heard it in Toronto. At the end of the day, winning is what matters. And we saw it with Arbuckle, right? Where, you know, last year he was playing really well. He was putting up yards, he was putting up touchdowns. You could make an argument that some of his interceptions were untimely, but it wasn't like he was going out there and costing teams the W, right? Like, yeah. And I think at the end of the day, that's what they're going to be looking for, right? Like, can you game manage the offense, put the ball where you need to put it? I don't believe that Dinwiddie is expecting either Jake Mayer or Drew Brown to go out there and be like win them the game single-handedly. And I think that's because Dinwiddie was a former CFL quarterback. And I think he's built a team where it's like, hey, all you have to do is manage the ball. We're going to put you in a position where you can put the ball in these playmakers' hands, let them go to work. All you have to do is manage the ball, manage the clock, manage the huddle, manage the play, manage the ball. Do not feel like you have to go out there and throw 300-400 yards like you're used to with Drew Brown just to win the game. And I think, you know, we're going to see it with Mayer. And I think it's going to be one of those things where like whoever's starting at quarterback, they do not care about the box score for themselves. They care about the box score at the end of the game. Did they go 1-0 at that week? And I think, I don't know how long the leash is going to be. I expect it to be more than a game. I think, again, unless you bottom out and you haven't like the worst game of your career, I think if you start week 1, you're more than likely starting week 3. Like, but
that would fracture somebody's confidence, whether they would say it or not. Like if you,
yes, but I think like realistically, I think for Dinwiddie, if someone bottoms out completely, like he's like awful numbers.
Now I will say, Shane, to preference bottoming out, as a Bills fan, I watched Nate Peterman throw 5 interceptions in the first half and proceed to start the next week. So
I think different situations.
Bottoming out. Yeah, there's bottoming out and like.
Unfortunately for Dinwiddie and for the Red Blacks as a whole, the leash and I mean this is just, and it's unfortunate for Brown and for Mayer too, because I think the leash has to be short.
Absolutely, that's why you signed Jake Mayer.
Yeah, and like you're coming off of a 4-14 season. You've made the playoffs once since the end of the 2018
They haven't had back-to-back winning seasons since 1988.
Exactly. You don't have the luxury of time here.
Yeah.
You can't start the season 0-2, 0-3 because your quarterback is struggling.
Yeah.
No, because unfortunately I think that Ottawa is in the same boat as Edmonton has been in the last like 5 years, where like if you start 0-4, 0-5, even 0-3, like at that point the fans turn on you and they've already like written off the season. They're like, yeah, season's over. We're gonna miss the playoffs again. Like
not only that too, Blake. Like self-consciously, you probably are like, "Fuck!" Like not again. Like we're gonna
exactly
again. Like the fans absolutely will turn on you, but then you're like turning on yourselves too, and it's like, especially the vets, like some of the vets that have been there for a while and they've kind of been through the roller coaster of the highs and lows. Like they're like, man, we can't do this again. Then you start to like press too, right? Like it's just you
start forcing things. You start like,
and it's pro football, right? Like it's a dangerous game. Coaches have to make like decisions that could end up firing them, right? And this is going to be something that Dinwiddie's going to have to kind of, not that he's going to get fired, but process through, right? Of like, hey, where's my team at? Can we go to Jake Mayer here? Can we go to Drew Brown? How like is their confidence moving forward, kind of thing? Like it'll be definitely a tricky situation, but if he presses all the right buttons, I think this will be a good offense, number one. And then as you said, Shane, I think you have a little bit more confidence your defense will be able to come together. And I know some young pieces last year got to play, so hopefully they'll be able to take another step in their development and whatnot. So it was good.
Yeah, it's gonna be go ahead, Blake.
No, I was just gonna say that I'd argue that like the East is somewhat wide open as well. Like I would think that Montreal's probably the favorite.
They are,
but like Hamilton, did they really improve themselves during the offseason, or did they just stay stagnant? Like Toronto, like who knows what they'll be like with he who shall not be named as the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. Like so I think at minimum a playoff spot is there for Ottawa for the taking.
I mean, I think it's playoffs or bust. Yeah. And like it's
not really though if you think about it, because it's Dinwiddie's first year.
No, but from a fan perspective, it's playoffs or bust. I'm not saying you need to host a playoff game, but you need to make the playoffs. If you're 10-6 or 10-8 and you make the East semifinal, you're good.
The good news is, Shane, 8 teams make it.
That's next year.
Next year.
Oh man.
But I think this year, I think for Edmonton, it's a little bit more pressing for them to get to the playoffs. But I think for Ottawa, it's just a simple case of just getting to the playoffs. I think with Edmonton, it's like a home playoff game. And I think there's going to be Red Blacks fans who believe that it's the East semifinal hosting versus going on the road. But I think for Ottawa heading into the season, cautious expectations would be playoff game minimum.
poor Shane doesn't want to put his heart too far up there.
Hey
He's
man,
like, I've been through this enough.
I will say this is probably on paper the best roster since the 2015 season.
Okay, Shane. Okay. Well, then so that means you're putting high expectations on the team, Shane. Shane, we're about to make our picks here next week, buddy. So I'm taking all these things into account here, pal. You better not be
my expectation,
some rotten goods here, pal.
realistic expectation, my minimum expectation is playoffs. But I would not be surprised if they go to the Grey Cup.
Yeah, but 6 teams in a 9-team league make the playoffs.
Yes, and when you haven't made the playoffs in all but 1 year since 2019, that means absolutely jack shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like,
as long as Edmonton makes it at the expense of Winnipeg, that's all I ask.
why Winnipeg?
Because they're Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Okay, so
arch rival.
it's a really weird arch rival to have.
Well,
What do you mean? They beat us in 2 straight West finals.
Okay, and
they took literally
you beat them in the Grey Cup. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
that was 15 years ago.
Okay, and you still beat them in the Grey Cup. That's all that matters.
They've taken 2 of our biggest franchise players in the last 20 years and basically made them theirs too.
Yeah,
Who?
Adam Bighill and Buck Pierce.
No, I was gonna say Andrew Harris.
Oh,
yeah.
Like both of them don't consider themselves Lions, really.
Well, neither does Buck Pierce. But...
Like, gosh, man. Hurts my heart a little
well,
bit.
Well, they spent more time with Winnipeg than they did with BC, didn't they? I thought Big Hill did.
Andrew probably is close.
Andrew did. Biggie's probably about the same amount of time.
I thought Big Hill. I don't think Harris did, but I'm pretty sure Big Hill did.
No, I think it's the other way.
No, 2011 to 2016 with BC, and then 2018 to 2024.
Who are you talking about?
For Big Hill.
So 6 and 7, or sorry, what was the years again?
2014 to 2016, and
that's
then for BC, and then
I thought it was way longer than that.
Yeah, no, 20 because then he went to New Orleans for a year. He went for the 2017 season, and then from 2018 to 2024 with the Blue Bombers.
Also, who else in the West Division would be a hated rival for me? Like the Elks have been garbage since I've been alive, basically. Like Calgary,
3 Grey Cups.
What do you? Okay, that doesn't count.
What do you mean that doesn't count?
I agree with you, Blake. Edmonton's been shite ever since I can remember, except for the Mike Riley days.
Michael O'Reilly. He will get very upset with you for that.
Are we not going to? Are we just going to skip over the greatest quarterback of all time and Ricky Ray?
No.
Well, I don't know if he's the greatest quarterback of all time, but anyways.
So,
discussion for another day, hey Blake.
Yeah.
But you guys haven't been able to go to BC, because you guys it's been in
Kamloops.
So
neither one of us went to the preseason game in Langford.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I don't do preseason. I hate it with a passion.
I would have went, but it's just Carly's birthday. And Kamloops is ridiculous. This is a huge PSA to Amar Doman, Matt Baker, anybody else in the BC Lions. Please move camp.
Brian said that as well. He's like, Kamloops is cool, but like, and it was cool when we went 2 years ago, but it's just like, I think next year the Lions are also gonna like,
how far is it?
Have to.
It's 4 hours from Blake.
Yeah.
And I'm 2 hours from Blake.
So I'd be like Ottawa holding camp in like London, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
But yeah, no, it's
ridiculous. Fun fact: they used to have
next year. They might have to
move camp.
Yeah, because like with the season moving up, because like school won't be over yet. They can't rent out TRU.
Do they do Kamloops just because of the school? Is that why they not do it at BC?
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Like Blake said, I think
because they rent out the whole TRU campus for the entirety of camp.
I think it's the facility as a whole, right? Because like there's weight room, there's like 3 or 4 basketball courts. They stay at TRU. The field's right there. They get all the locker room access. The gym's literally right at the field. Like gym is on top of the locker rooms. The locker rooms are all in the end zone. And it's like, if they were to come back to Surrey, I guess that is a little bit of news. Is they're opening the Surrey practice facility? I think Tuesday
I don't think Surrey's realistic.
officially. Well, they would everyone would just stay at home, which would be kind of a little bit silly. Like it would be,
Yeah.
it wouldn't really be a camp. I feel like atmosphere.
Is that the
like
new
they're-
practice facility that they were talking? Like they
It's-
built
it's
up,
just
or
the-
like
It's
just like-
renovated. It's
yeah.
not new. Which, speaking of, I'll take pictures of tomorrow because I'm heading out that way. But
Yeah, good job, Blake. And like, you probably couldn't go McLeod.
no,
Like, there's no.
'cause where are you gonna stay? There's no
That's what
hotels.
I mean, there's McLeod is unrealistic, especially because like it's also nice that they have the grass fields at Kamloops for like the specialists to go work on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where like they have a separate field. There's nothing. Or I guess they could actually go to the other side. That is it Langley Secondary.
Yeah,
They have a field, I guess, but it would just be a weird thing. I was gonna say they used to have Neil McAvoy's first training camp was in Courtney, which is on the island, Shane. And he was like telling it on First and Now, Blake. He was like, yeah, we all drove down to the ferry, walked onto the ferry. It was like, man, times have changed.
like 50 of them,
Literally. But
and
like,
that's just staff. There was like 100 players probably too.
the only other place I could think of would be Victoria, and they play their preseason game there and then stay at UVic. But as Blake just said, with the season moving back, school will still be in session. So like, they wouldn't be able to stay on campus, which would mean they'd have to stay or they'd have to pay for housing or whatever. There would be school would still be in session. So like they'd be trying to practice and stuff, and there'd be a ton of crap going on.
Yeah.
So like UVic, as much as that would be maybe the other option, it doesn't really make sense either. If you're going to leave Kamloops, you just probably stay in Kamloops.
But the Lions aren't the only other team that's going to have to deal with this. Like, there's multiple teams. Like, I believe the Argos have had training camp at Guelph for the last number of years.
And yeah, see, I
Like,
guess
this year,
UBC would
Montreal is
be-
at the University of Laval, which
Yeah.
would not be available as well.
and UBC would be the other argument, I'm guessing, but same thing as TRU and UVic.
Yeah.
Like, school would be in session. You'd have a field, but like you'd have nothing else. You wouldn't have a weight room. You wouldn't have classrooms for meetings. You wouldn't have the dorms, anything
Would
like that.
school be in session though?
Yeah,
it'd be
because
coming
it's
to
the
an-
end of it's finals.
Yeah, it'd be
It'll be-
coming to an end though, because like training
Yeah,
camp.
by the end of camp, but not at the beginning.
How long is your guys's? Because like in Ontario, most people out here, like you're done your finals by like mid to end of April. Like by
Yeah, but the season is starting like
saying
May long
Victoria-
weekend.
yeah, which is usually like the third weekend in May.
Well, we won't.
Yeah, but
we
you
won't-
need a month of training camp.
We
That's
won't
the
know
thing.
until the fall. Obviously, we won't know until the school year dates come out and all that stuff. So,
Hey, who knows? Maybe schools just end like earlier.
because
Maybe.
like Shane said, right? Exams get out mid to late April, so it would be camp would be late April, right?
Yeah, because like isn't like camp would basically
But like if it overlaps at all, I would think that would mean like that would kind of I would think deter the team from going, right? Like if you couldn't go there for say the first week,
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna split up camp
no, that's
'Cause,
what I-
like
camp-
different places.
rookie camp starts on the 24th, and then main camp opens on the rookie camp opens on the 21st, and main camp opens on the 24th.
I bet you last week of exams is the 24th.
Yeah. So like if
Oh.
that's the case, because I'm
It's
pretty
close,
sure
but
it's
like,
definitely going to be like some logistic things that we do not get paid to
Yeah, exactly.
handle.
or either that or you just tell UBC to kick rocks. I'm sure they'd love that.
So
Hey,
hey,
we're
man,
taking-
I'm
we're taking over
glad
for the
I don't
next
have to
3
worry
weeks.
about that in Ottawa as long as they never go back to Kingston.
Yeah, there's all 15 people that go to Kamloops. It's nice for them.
It's
but
bad.
Yeah,
It's
the other.
they made
thousands of
they made
people
fan
around them.
they made FanFest look good this year, but
Yeah. It wasn't.
I heard rumors that it was not.
Which is it's not Lions' fault either. It's just like not as
Yeah,
many
it's just
people are
like you
not as
can't.
many people are interested in driving to Kamloops for FanFest anymore either.
I'm
That
shocked
was
that you
the-
guys like they do it in Kamloops and don't do it like the week.
Well, they kind of
of-
have to because of where camp is. Like you're not gonna ask the players to come home for the weekend and then go back to camp. But
Well, I'm thinking like more so like do it the last Saturday or Sunday before the season opens up. I know this year it's a little different because of the World Cup. So
yeah, they couldn't have done it this year. But
yeah, I don't know. FanFest for the Red Blacks was fun. But I
FanFest
feel like
was alright.
didn't
FanFest.
the Elks do theirs at Clark Stadium too, or whatever?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
I
I
feel
thought
like
I saw that
FanFest
they did. But
across sports have gotten a lot worse over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're meant for kids too, right? Like they're meant for the old face painting, the bouncy castles, like the autographs, seeing players for
what,
the first
what do you
time.
mean, Cole? I'm still a kid at heart.
Oh, absolutely, Blake. Hey, me and you had a ton of fun, buddy. I'm not.
We
I'm not
did.
saying- I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but like that's what they're made for, right? Like even the
Yeah,
scrimmages,
for
like
sure.
the vets will play a handful of plays, and then it's majority like it's a lot of the time it's like for the younger guys to like
Yeah.
get a little bit of their nerves out. Like this is a game like situation. We have reps here. There's a little bit of fans here. Obviously, the vets are gonna get reps and stuff like that. It's not just a rookie show, but like I feel like that's a lot of the time the vets end up like the baseball hats on. They're chewing spits and they're signing autographs by the second half. So
Yeah.
FanFest is meant for the kids, and we got to keep it that way. Even us big kids, Blake. Don't worry, buddy.
Yeah.
To be fair, like I mean, I brought Kaylee down and she had a ball.
Yeah. same.
Yeah.
Got to
but-
love the kids.
Exactly. I don't know. I meant like more like the actual like on ice on field part of it. Just maybe it's more the NHL. Like I think the sense for us have like their fan fest has been awful the last couple of years. Like it's just not worth going, even from a kid's perspective.
The
Yeah.
Canucks stopped doing it
I know.
altogether.
I was gonna say, even though the Canucks
Really?
suck right now,
Yeah,
I would
they-
love
they
to go
don't-
to the-
like,
the
'cause-
Super Skills.
Because
Yeah.
the NHL like technically calls it differently. Like they
Yeah.
call it the skills competition or whatever. And
Yeah.
like the Canucks haven't done it since like I want to say before COVID.
Yeah.
So like the Sens do, like they have their fan fest right before their first preseason game, and then they have the Sens skills competition in like February or January, depending on the schedule.
Yeah.
You're telling me the Canucks do neither of them?
No.
That's sad.
Neither, brother.
That's unfortunate.
That's why the Twins said that we need to get back in the community because this team
Yeah.
is in a dark place there, my guy.
Like our fan fests, I don't think they didn't have any of the charge players out, obviously, but like the skills comp, they bring out like 4 to 6 charge players, and they bring out like youth, like Ottawa youth players to come participate in it.
Yeah, the Golden Eyes have already lapped the Canucks in terms of like stuff they do for season ticket holders and everything.
That's crazy.
Like they had multiple open practice for season ticket holders. They had like after the season was over where you could go and like paint the ice. They had like stuff where you could meet the women's hockey players that had gone to the Olympics. Like,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's Francesco Aquilini for you there, Shane.
Yep.
I'm glad we no longer have Melnick. May he rest in peace.
But
But what? Okay, so
quickly
we-
before we switch topics, can we like get rid of that like week 1 preseason game? Because I think it is incredible. I know we touched on it earlier, but it is incredibly dumb for the Riders to play in both that week 1 preseason game. They just played last week, and then they have a bye this week, and they have a bye in week 1. So they have 3 weeks between the end of their preseason and the start of their
they
regular
played two.
season.
They played 2 games in 6 days or 5 days because they played on the Monday and then
Yeah.
again on the Saturday, and then don't play again
For 3
until-
weeks.
Yeah, until June 13th.
I know
Like-
we all feel this way because we all love the CFL, but it's like just like the most like
We don't need that first
like Shane
preseason
had the
game.
perfect like just like
Well, you do because you need
you need because there's 9 teams.
you need one.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have both of them within a 5-day span of each other. Like it should have been like, I mean, again, you have one of those two teams has to play though.
Yeah. It comes back to expansion, boys.
In my opinion, that
Yeah,
should have
but
been
then,
the week
but
2
then
bye.
for that matter, the Riders shouldn't have got, which I know is like, okay, whatever. Like we've already talked about that. But then don't give either one of those teams that play that week 0, even if you want to call it that preseason game, don't give them a week 1 bye.
In my opinion, I think it should be you should have had the 4 games, or at least 1 or 2 of those games played on the Monday,
Yeah.
and then you find a way to play the other ones third. And again, I get why they do it, so you don't have an unfair advantage because the deadline for cuts is on the Saturday. But like, you're telling me you needed all 4 games to be on a Friday? You're not broadcasting all of them.
They're broadcasting 1, aren't they?
Yeah, they're broadcasting the Montreal Ottawa game, and then
Yeah.
everything else is on CFL Plus.
Plus.
So you're telling me you couldn't have put the Hamilton Toronto game on a Wednesday? Like, I get you're trying to maximize like people.
Well,
coming
maybe
to the
not
games,
Wednesday, but like when the regular season starts, you're gonna have games on Thursday anyways. Just put it on the Thursday.
but like you're not broadcasting it outside of CFL Plus. May as well have it on like a Wednesday.
Yeah, fair
Like,
enough.
it doesn't hurt anything. You're not playing again until the following week. Like, you're gonna have more than a week off.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't know. I do agree it's stupid.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the more we defend this league, it's the dumb shit that they do to get their own way, pretty much, because they do
like
shit
having 8 of 9 teams make the playoffs, which
yes.
like I know we
Again,
debated that a couple
I-
weeks ago. It's technically not the playoffs, but
No,
an
But-
outsider
but,
is
like,
gonna
like to make your point, they could have saved themselves by just putting 5 teams in the playoffs and calling 6 through 8
Yes.
a play-in, and instead
yes,
they
exactly,
didn't.
which is what
Yeah,
we
they
argued
should-
about 2 weeks ago.
yeah, they
during
should have
the
just
show.
been, hey, 4 teams make the playoffs, 5 through 8, there's a play-in.
Yes.
But I think the problem is with that, though, again, like I said, was you can't have like 1 and 2 on both teams not play
Yeah,
that week, right? And
for
then
sure.
you can't
I
have
know.
that game be meaningless. So like, it's a slippy. Hopefully, it just means that they're getting prepared for expansion and they're kind of they're releasing this information before dropping the bomb
Well-
of like, boom, here's expansion, and then boom, here's the playoff format. We're like, here's the playoff format, here's the expansion.
It just seems like sometimes, like, before they make these decisions, and I know they do, but it's almost like they don't like proofread what they're like gonna put out.
Oh
or,
no,
like,
trust me, they do. Like they.
no,
they
I know.
do-
That's what I said. I know that they do, but it's almost like that they don't.
Yeah.
Like, they just
No,
put these
I
things
get
out
your
and they're
point,
like,
Cole. But like, just for argument's sake, like and of course I'm not gonna name drop the person, but I do have a close
well,
friend that like
they're a
works-
professional league. I
works
understand they
in
do.
the works in the I won't even say the team, but they work in the league, like for a team.
Yeah.
And like they've told us like before last year's announcement, like before this year's announcement even, that they know the league is gonna get backlash when they make the announcement and they're just gonna do it anyways. Like
That doesn't seem like a very good protocol to
But-
me.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of shooting themselves in the foot more than
Well, it's
good
the
sometimes.
classic CFL, like, we're good. We don't need it, or like, we don't need change. We don't need to look at ourselves in the mirror. And it's like,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no. It's not.
Baby steps.
Oh, we're
baby.
gonna get flack. Who cares? It's like, well, no, that's not, that shouldn't be your mentality. That's the wrong approach, because people are gonna start turning you out, and majority of
that's like the NFL, like, and I know it's different leagues, like we're a CFL podcast, but that's like the NFL. And the only reason I bring that up is because of what happened with Josh Jacobs over the last couple of days. That's like the NFL, like not giving significant enough punishment every time someone gets arrested for domestic abuse. And we don't have to go down that rabbit hole because it's such a serious topic. But like, I think you guys can understand my point.
for sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like, again, actually was mentioned before we got on this was the PWHL just agreed with the PA and the league agreed to, disclose salaries publicly.
Yeah,
How long until the CFL gets on board? It has to, in my opinion, it has
10
to
years.
happen. I think it's going to be by the next. I think it's going to be part of the next CBA, if not before it.
Yeah, it should. I know
Like,
athletes feel a type of way with people watching their wallets or whatever you want to say, but
it's pro sports, baby.
yeah,
Yeah. So
it's different. I know they have the old like, oh well, if Sally accountant doesn't have so and so looking over them, critiquing them, and it's like, well, Sally from so and so isn't getting paid millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to go out and play football. So
yeah, respectfully, nobody cares about Sally.
Yeah.
So
In my opinion, though, I think it comes with the new TV deal, because I think the new TV deal is going to see a significant growth in TV revenue and hopefully overall revenue for the league.
I don't know how much, like, I do agree with you. It's going to be some, like, revenue, but I don't know how much, though, because, like, the US deal will be a lot, probably. But other than TSN, who's going to fight for the Canadian deal?
No need to fight. You probably just need to get rid of a Thursday game and put it on like Prime or something.
Maybe. I don't. That's the thing, though. Like, does Prime want it? Like,
Oh no, it seems like they want
Because-
everything right now.
because Rogers, like, I don't think Rogers has too much on their plate already. I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
But they
debate
own
you
a
for
team,
it.
so we'll see.
Maybe CBC wants back in, maybe, but
get
know.
Elliot Friedman being CFL insider again.
I have a feeling that like the TV deal will be a substantial amount of like a substantial
Yeah.
increase.
They need to. They need.
Like,
to
I
take
don't see how
advantage.
it's not.
but
But overall, I think you're going to see salaries kind of sent out publicly in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have Kenny Lawler signed a 3-year or I guess a 2-year
3 point-
extension for $1 million,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then restructured
per
this
year, I believe, wasn't it?
No, it's total.
Oh,
Pretty sure.
$333,000 per year.
Highest
Yeah.
paid non-quarterback in the league.
which was deserved.
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure, unless I'm mistaken, and it was it's a 3-year $1 million deal.
He had 1 year left on his deal, I believe, right? And
Yeah.
They tacked on 2 more
Yeah.
and then restructured it to the.
We've been
3 years.
seeing that happen like every offseason, though, like where a new player becomes the highest paid non-quarterback, and I think that's great for the league.
Yeah.
Like
It's
a
fantastic.
couple of years ago, it was Tyson Philpott. He was the first one to ever get a 3-year contract, I believe. And then Austin Mack came along, and now it's Kenny Lawler.
Yes, it's good.
So,
Business is booming.
business is booming and business is around the corner.
Yeah. All right, boys.
1 week away.
I probably got 5
Yeah.
more minutes.
Yeah, no,
What-
that's fair.
What are we thinking, Blake? Did you get to watch? I'm guessing you didn't watch the game because you were probably busy.
I did not.
Knowing Blake, are you gonna
Not
watch?
busy, but working. But
Are you gonna watch on Saturday at all?
Friday? Lions
Friday,
game's
sure.
on Friday. Yeah, I might try and watch a bit. I mean,
Or
like,
listening to that on the radio?
yeah, I said it before. Like, I'm not a huge like preseason guy. Like, I think I've gone to maybe one preseason game my whole life, and it was like 10 years ago. But yeah, I mean, with Nathan, they had Nathan on Sportsnet 650 yesterday, which was good to see because they're not the official broadcaster of the BC Lions. So it was good to have Nathan on the morning show. He said he'll play. He doesn't know how much yet, but like the plan is for him to play. So I might watch the first half or so and then go from there. We'll see.
Yeah, I would encourage you to watch, Blake. As we chatted about the Lions having that week 1 bye, I would think the starters will get a little bit of burn here, opposed
Yeah.
to
Hey,
other years.
for the ones watching depth charts, all 8 depth charts will be released tomorrow.
Yep,
We'll have plenty to talk about next week.
we will.
We will.
The season will be 1 day away from starting.
Yep. And we'll
Yeah,
have our
that's
pick
crazy.
It'll
We'll talk
probably
about-
be a long show too, because we'll have to do our preseason.
How are you for next week? Are you
Standings
okay
predictions.
on time?
I will be on time next week. I have nothing going on.
Hopefully, coach is here. Apparently, he was busy. He had something pop up that he had to deal with.
Wow, we're not cool enough for him.
I guess
That
not.
sounds like coach. That sounds like coach. But
I don't know,
Couldn't
man. Dude's making money moves. He is a very busy man right now. So
can I just quickly say that, like, while we're wrapping up, I so much more enjoy having like an hour show, like hour and 5. Like it looks like and like feels like more of a not to say like last year wasn't, but I felt, and I will fully take the blame for this. I felt last year we would stray on like topics that had nothing to do with the CFL, and then
All
we
the
would look up, and it would be a 2-hour podcast, and I'm like, and then I'd feel bad when Shane would have to go and edit it because I'm like, I feel like people tuned out 40 minutes ago.
yeah, we're gonna do a better job at staying on topic.
But
And next week we get to start our weekly picks again, boys.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Weekly picks. We'll talk about fantasy. We'll have our first power ranking dropping on Tuesday.
yeah.
Plenty of content coming to you guys over next week. Getting ready for the CFL season, so can't wait.
Yes, indeed. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, YouTube, all the good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and shout out to Royal Retros for being a sponsor of today's video, and as well as just as a 13th as a whole for 13th man CFF. You can grab their shirts there. 13th man football or Trench Jock. So thank for them for being a huge support of us and huge support going into the year. I thank you all for tuning in on X, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share button, hit that follow if you're on X, and make sure you're back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, as we preview the start of the 2026 season. And hopefully Coach Phil is here to join us to get his thoughts on the Rough Riders when the season gets going. I mean, they're on a bye, so maybe he'll take another bye week. He's just kind of on bye for the next 2 weeks. So we'll catch you here next time. Stay safe. Enjoy the preseason games. We'll catch you here shortly.